Welcome. This lesson is over percent. So this is probably the first day you've heard of percent. I'm sure you have heard it in your real world. So first of all, I want you to take out your cell phone and I want you to look in the upper right hand corner it's like right here. Let me see if I can make it a little larger so you can see it. In the upper right hand corner, can you tell me what is your battery percentage charge? According to this, it is 97%. So I want you to list it. My battery charge is 97% charged. Now, on this strip diagram right here, can you represent that percent? Shade in the battery percentage. See, 97%. So I'm going to copy it just like I see it right here. So 97%, is it the whole thing? I don't think it's the whole thing. Oops, let me get a highlighter. So I keep shading 97% of this. Not the whole thing, but almost the whole thing. So I want you to tell me, I want you to think about it. What do you notice and what do you wonder? I notice that it is almost fully charged. 97% is charged, and I'll say 3% is not charged. Oh, I noticed that to make it fully charged, it has to be 100%. What do you wonder? I wonder how long will it take to charge 3%? I wonder how long would 97% last me? Here are some other questions I wonder if you can answer. Can you note the benchmarks on this strip diagram? Where would you find 0%? If your phone is 0% charged, what does that mean? That means 0% right here. That means it's completely drained or empty. Where would you put 50%? Isn't 50% the same thing as saying half? What about 100%? It's the whole thing that's fully charged. What about 25%? 25% is between 0 and 50%. And what about 75%? That is between 50% and 100%. And also, I'm going to ask these questions. What if it is fully charged? 100%. We kind of answered already through our notice. So if it's fully charged out of 100%, what happens if you are 35%? That would be 35% out of 100%. And here is 97% charge out of a full charge of 100. What is half charged? 50%. What is 1/4 fully? Let's see, 1/4 full. Oh, 1/4 would be 25%. So what you're going to do now is you're going to walk around the classroom and look for students whose charge is more than yours, less than yours, and equivalent to yours. So go around, walk around. So a percent is out of 100. Percent comes from the word out of 100. Per means for every 100, for each 100. So it compares a number to 100. So if you look at our strip diagram, we are comparing 97 out of 100. That's what percent is. So what you're going to do now is each tribe will be assigned a different equivalency. For example, one tribe will be assigned 3/4, 7,500, 75%. Another tribe will be assigned 2/5, 40 hundredths, and 40%. Another tribe will be assigned 7/10, 70 hundredths, 70%. Can you represent this information, these numbers, these rational numbers, with a strip diagram, a 10 by 10 grid, and a number line? So let's look at a strip diagram. If this is 100%, where would I put 75%? See, if I know this is, let me get my pen. If this is 100%, that means the whole thing, it will be the whole thing. So I know 50% is right here, so 75% would be right here in between 50 and 100%. So that is our strip diagram. So this would be 0%. I mean, nothing would be shaded. This is a 10 by 10 grid. In a 10 by 10 grid, it is one whole, or 100 hundredths. Here it says shade in 75 hundredths. So I shade in 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths, 40 hundredths, 50 hundredths, 60 hundredths, 70 hundredths, 75 hundredths. And how would I represent this represent it on a number line? So this represents 75 hundredths, 75%, because remember percent means out of 100, and this represents 3/4. That means I break it into groups of 25 hundredths, 3 groups of 25 hundredths. And this one represents 75%, 75 hundredths, 3/4. So I can break this into 4 groups. And then how would you show it in a number line? Well, it's 0 to 1. I know 1/2 is in the center. That's the middle, which is 50%. So 75% or 3/4 would be right here. That could be 75% or 75 hundredths. What if you were assigned this fraction decimal percent? 2/5, 40 hundredths, and 40%. So 2/5. Oh, I could cut this into 5 equal parts. Shade in 2/5. Isn't that less than half? Because I know 50% is right here, so that's 40%. Nice. So this is how you represent it. So 40% is less than half, or 50%. Now let's shade in here. Let's shade in 40 hundredths, 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths, 40 hundredths. So in other words, I shaded 40% of this. And then on this number line, how would I represent 40 hundredths? So 0, 1. Well, I know 1/2 is in the middle or center. So, and 1/2 is like the same thing as saying 50%. So I believe it would be somewhere right here on the number line. And that would be 40 hundredths, 40%, or 2/5. Last but not least, 7/10, 70 hundredths, and 70%. So I break this into 10 equal groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and shade in 7 out of 10, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths. Is this more than half? This would be 50% right here, or 1/2. It is. So this is 7/10, or 70%, or 70 hundredths. Now, how would I represent it as a 10 by 10 grid? Well, there are 100 hundredths here. Can I shade in, 7 of the 10 columns? 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns, 6 columns, and 7 columns. Is that the same thing as saying 70 hundredths? Yes. Is that the same thing as say 70%? Because percent means anything out of 100. Yes, it is. And then our number line, this is 0, this is 1. I know 1/2 is in the center, and I know this is more than half, or 50%, so 7/10 will probably be somewhere right here. What you're going to do now is you're going to be developing your own. You can, in homework, you can develop any problem you want to know. For example, maybe you would like to do, I don't know, 4/5. So I break this into 5 equal sections and shade in 4 of them. I know this is going to be more than half. So what decimal and percent will this be? Well, I know a percent is anything out of 100. So it's 80 hundredths, or 80%. Does this represent if this whole thing is 100%? Yep, it is. So I will shade in 80 hundredths, 40 hundredths, 50 hundredths, 60 hundredths, 70 hundredths, 80 hundredths. And now on this number line, where would I find 4/5, 80 hundredths, 80%? This is 1/2. I know it's more than half, so 80% will probably be somewhere right here. 4/5, 80 hundredths. And that is how to represent percent using strip diagram, 10 by 10 grid, and number line.